Well, let's flip over. We also have in the studio now retired Brigadier General Olusegun Ajano, also joining us this morning. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
Well, this is shocking to a lot of people, just looking at those images alone. And then if you read through the story, you see how they intercepted it. It was along, I think, Mile 2 Expressway. The FOU intercepted it and then took it to their office. So it means they were this close to getting away.
That's right.
And that's really shocking. Are you as surprised as a lot of people are?
I'm really very surprised. And I believe that the setup at our port needs to be looked into. We have several organizations there. There are far too many things that do get in unnoticed. I believe that the various organizations that are represented in the port should be pulled up to do their duty. Weapons coming into the country, it should be something that, it should not escape them at the port. To be quite honest with you, for that container to have left the port and then get intercepted at Mile 2 is an indictment on the setup of customs.
40-foot container.
I believe that the Controller General is going to really sit on this and is going to, I'm sure he's going to get to the root of it. But it's not something that can be swept under the carpet. Because if this happens, often the country can sink. Those who probably might have brought this in might be thinking of business, I don't know. They might have ulterior, some other sinister motives. And we have far too many security problems in the country to allow this type of thing to escape the attention of the required agency at the port.
And how are we sure that's the only truck?
Say again?
How are we sure that's the only truck?
No one is particularly sure. We don't know the origin. We don't know how it got ordered. Obviously, from the information that is going to be contained in the papers of that consignment, we will know the source, the overseas country from where it is imported, and who the consignees are. And I think from that point of view, we should be able to get at the root of what could have happened. It is not the first time, and possibly may not be the last time that we are going to have this.
You know, we've always talked about our borders. I still will go back to one of the China's forum we had, and it had to do with security. Then we talked about the borders, and we had some of those who had manned our borders before. They talked about the porosity of our borders. And then we called it, we said it was a clear and present danger. And now we're getting to see this because after the crisis in Libya and the Maghreb and a couple of other places, we talked about the movement of small and light arms coming into the country. But this goes beyond what we expected because
Yes.
these are truly scary
It is really
discoveries.
very serious. It is very serious. The Libya case, the Libya angle, as potent as it is, I still believe that anything from Libya is not likely to come in this way. The likelihood is that anybody getting arms from that area may likely smuggle it into the country. And I think that is where the tightening of our borders setup needs to be looked into. The issue really is that why should anybody be interested in getting arms into the country? Arms is not something you play around with. Game guns are different from this type of guns. These are things that in a lot of cases are used by armed robbers, pump action guns. They are not the type that are used by the military or even the police. We don't give this type of weapons to the to fighting troops because it's limited in range. For military action, the AK-47, Kalashnikov and the rest of them come readily into effect. And in any case, the manufacturers of those guns don't easily give it out because the countries of manufacture the government has a little bit of control. Before they take out, or before they sell out anything, it goes through a process through which the government authorizes, and then it is sold to whoever is trying to buy. But things of this nature are seen in a lot of cases as guns that can be purchased by individuals who can decide to use it for a legitimate purpose or a nefarious purpose. This is the thing. But for a country, when you talk of security, definitely it's a disturbing development. Who could be bringing this in? And in any case, we have not even got to that stage in Nigeria where we authorize people to keep personal arms. We don't do it. Even retired military personnel don't go about with arms. You don't do it. When you are leaving, you leave all the arms in the very unit where you serve.
You know, so some of the other things that come to mind is some of the cases we cover, when you mentioned armed robbery, that also flashed. In some of those cases, when you talk to those who see or who were witnesses to that happen, they describe the kind of weapon, the sound, how it went, even some of the video circulated. Those are heavy artillery. And then you see people talk about the herdsmen themselves with AK-47 moving on. You see them talk about different militia groups, different ones possessing different kinds of weapons, all in the same country. And now we have this.
It is strange. I will admit that we need to do more than we are doing at the moment. One thing that I'm just happy about is that Nigeria has not gotten to a point where we can say people can bring in arms. Probably if you bring in arms, you have a license to be able to operate it.
We'll come back in a minute and possibly talk about what do we do in terms of the causes which was talked about earlier. Just give us a moment. We'll be back.